Hello again, Dread Mechanic here, once more, for part 9, I think now, of this building a walking mech base stream. I wanted to do some streaming yesterday, but my internet was being even worse than it has been recently, so it just wasn't possible. It's still being a little funny today, probably because of the horrible weather, but hopefully it's not too bad. So yesterday, off stream, I did a few more upgrades to this base, and it's getting very close. Hello, Tiny Cat. You come to join the party. Come on. Thank you. Hello. So, first of all, one of the improvements I made is I made a big crow's nest up here. So there's actually some sort of roof access now. You can get all the way to the top, should you need to, and you've got a great view from all the way up here, in all directions. And there is ladder access all the way down to the next level. I can drop through the floor, there we go. I've also built a ladder off the back to allow us access to the main deck from the side of here. What else have I done? I've also made a few minor upgrades in here. I took those rails out because they were just getting a bit tight for space. The supercomputer has had a few more upgrades because there's a few more extra bits I've added in. I've added in a holo display. So now, providing you don't get stuck, like I've just done, there's now a 3D display that will appear, well, holographic display, that will appear when you jump in and out of the cockpit. Yeah, that activates when you jump in, and you can see what you're doing. It can help you navigate. Helps with all the angles and all that kind of jazz. And we can plough forward. I've also started setting up the toolbar a little bit to try and make it make a bit of sense. We've got a bar with all of our various battery controlled things there. Some basic on-off controls for main systems, the walk mode, hydrant engines, drill arms, things like that. So we jump down here. We haven't really done much in there right now. We did this last time with our little mech walker bay at the back. You've all seen how that works. I've done a little bit more greebling around it. And changed the exhaust pipes at the back to the electricity rather than the sparks. The sparks are a bit much. And we've done some more greebling in here. So the main base area is more or less finished on the inside. I added in an extra hydrogen O2H2 generator. It's given us a little bit more fuel production. What else? Added a little bit more storage space, various things. It's all piped in. And last time we built these drill arm controls. Oh. I can jump in there, I can deploy that arm. Jump into there, and I can control it. I can drill stuff if I want to. When it's all said and done, I can retract the arm back up. Jump out that seat. Job's a good one. It's got a glass window in the way to keep you somewhat protected. There's not been any real improvements out this side. Although I would like to try and figure out a way to automate that door. Possibly. Doing the batteries are good charging. So, in addition to the other vehicles... Oh, hey, Space Guy. How you doing, man? Yeah, so in addition to the other vehicles, I added a pair of speeder bike type things to the sides because I wanted to make use of these rail things that I built on the side of the ship. And I thought I'd stick a rotor in there and make it a little landing pad for some of these little battery-powered speeder bikes. They've got enough power for about, what's it, 45 minutes, an hour's worth of flight. We can touch, yeah, about an hour's worth of flight at full pelt. A little bit of sort of mid-range exploration or combat or whatever you like. This one's got a Gatling gun on the front, and the one on the other side has an autocannon. But they are currently set up with some docking controls, so you can switch to the docking camera on the bottom. Oop, that was a bit heavy-handed. And you can fly into place. Well, not quite at the speed that I did just then. And when you lock down, everything switches off and it switches to recharge mode on the battery. And then these activate to make them look cool. And yeah, there's one of them either side. Got autocannon version over here. Take off from it. Got a battery for charge, it's got an antenna for tracking and things, and it's got just enough thrust to go about and do things. Wouldn't advise trying to fly it on its side. But it's not too bad. Could even add a few more thrusters to it, but that would ultimately reduce its flight time. And we can land this back into place. And there we go. Lock it down, everything switches off. Cool. And the drones have had a little bit of a tweak as well. I've figured out a better way of doing their legs so that they don't clang anymore. They now run off a single sensor and an event controller. The sensor detects the floor, which extends the hinges, and then the event controller detects the hinges and extends the pistons. And that way I can adjust the speeds between the two motions. And for now, it's proving much better. The legs haven't clanged out and made it do weird stuff yet. And they're docking pretty well. And I also added in a little alarm for when those things come into land, and I think I added one for when they launch as well. So at some point very soon both of those drones are going to launch. So yeah, hopefully we'll hear an alarm sound in a minute. There we go. That's letting me know one of them is taking off. There he goes. And now, rather than having two sensors fighting to control the legs, there's just one. And yeah, off he goes. And then in a few minutes, he'll do the same thing. What are you shooting at? If I put friendly fire on your gun or something like that. What are you shooting at? Oh, I know what it is. I turned on the wolves, didn't I? For my own amusement. Yeah. I turned on the wolves. Just for fun. Test out the enemy AI. That's what you're shooting at, that's fine. It's been a while since I've had the wolves on. Curious. The turret controller is responding to the wolf. Does the AI block not respond to them? Oh, other drone is launched, and I've just slammed into the back of him. Oh no, there he goes. Wrong one. Either way. Do you guys not detect wolves then? Offensive block, AI on. No, target locked. Wolf. What's he doing? Hitting her on 100 meters. Oh, right, yeah, you are doing it. Okay. Fair enough. Interesting, I had that on for about 3 hours yesterday and didn't see a single wolf. But it's good to know they're working. And hopefully they should have an active failsafe in them that when they run out of battery power, regardless of what they're doing, they should turn off their weapons and fly back home and recharge, rather than fight until they drop to the floor. So we'll see if that works. So the other thing I wanted to do was automate these turret guns. Oh yeah, I also built more turret guns. I built some autocannon versions of them up at the back end of the ship that work in the same way as the forward ones, although they've got slightly restricted angle of movement, so you can't turn around and shoot the tower by mistake. But they work, they're piped in. No way I'm hitting that thing from this range. But yeah, I want to build in some AI controls that when things, baddies, wolves, enemy ships, something turns up, these guns can kick into AI mode if they are unmanned. So, for that, we need, first of all, an AI controller, a defensive AI controller. But from previous experimenting, I don't want to put it on the main grid, because it will conflict my blocks I've already put on the main grid. So for this, stick it right there for now. So we can have that there. And then what else would we need? I would need... Right, okay. I'm hoping that's resolved that issue. I hope you can all hear me and see me and kind of stuff. So for this AI system, I want this block to activate those guns and turn on their AI, because currently they are set up to have their AI switched off so they can be manually controlled. But in the event of no people manning them, I want the computer to be able to do it for me. So, where should we put these? Oh, wrong block. Right, we'll stick one timer there. And then another one on the other side. That can be base defenses on and base defenses off. Right. We'll just have that. Right, so AI combat. When you detect an enemy, which we are doing right now, can you detect wolves as well? Doesn't look like AI defensive blocks can detect wolves. Alright, that's a bit of a pain. Oh well, they're not really meant to detect that anyway. So, let's do this slightly differently. Let's save this, turn them wolves off again, because they're just going to distract what I'm trying to do at the moment. And I will just set up a enemy drone as a target instead. Wolves and spiders, let's get rid of that. Right, just wait for the game to reload again, and we'll be good to go. Right, well, someone's still shooting something. Oh, are you shooting at him? You are, aren't you? Let's take control of you. Nope. More targeting is off. What's he shooting at then? What are you doing? Target locked. Wolf. Oh, because they're still wolves down there, even though I've turned the wolves off. Are they invulnerable if I'm invulnerable too? How do I get the goddamn wolf out of the game? I'm not sure which control does that. And the list, has it disappeared? Bug it off. No, it's still there. Character weapons. Gone. Damage is turned off. Oh, right, that's why, is it? Annoying. Right, you're gone. Sweet. Turn that back off. Right, has everybody settled down now? AI blocks. Target locked onto a wall. For God's sake, why is there still wolves? I turned them off. I'm guessing there's still wolves out there, and all I've done is screwed this up. Why has made this game harder? For myself. Where are these goddamn wolves? I can't see what you're locking onto or what you're targeting. That thing is dead, so you can't be targeting that. Oh, for God's sake. Can I get rid of the body? No, I won't. Oh, God damn it. What's that, space guy? What, fly the drones up to space? I might just turn off the I'll just turn off the offensive controls for now. They can just go back to patrolling, and I'll just move the base somewhere else away from the bloody wolves. What's that one? 01B. 1A. Where is it? Offensive block. Turn off. Just come back here. We'll move the base away from the wolves so you stop being stupid. Oop. Glad I turned damage off. Right, I'll just move the base somewhere. So, I've set up an on and off button there that controls the walk mode turning on. So we can walk forward manually if we want to, or we can walk in reverse manually if we want to, once the friction on the wheels kicks in and stops doing stupid Space Engineers things like it likes to do. Just walk backwards. Come on. Oh, am I stuck on that tree? That why? Yes. Okay. So we've got forward and backwards controls. It can turn left and right. But it is getting a bit heavy now. And he's also got an auto walk control. So that you can just make him walk on his own, and then all you have to worry about is steering him. And over the course of yesterday and the last couple of days, done a very, very, very big route around a sizable chunk of this planet. I've been tracking the route I've been walking with it so far, and I've managed to get it up and down some pretty horrific hills. Managed to get it all the way up here. And we started there, did a big circle all the way around there, we'll come back up here, and I've taken it up this way, and so far it's been able to handle all of this terrain pretty well. And then we came down here, went down this slope straight across the ice lake, and I've gone up here, and now I'm here. And I don't really know where else I can go from there other than just loop back on myself, because the terrain gets pretty horrific after this point. I'm half tempted to try and take it up that mountain. Yeah, he's pretty good at walking, pretty good at turning, fairly good at keeping his balance. It does require quite a bit of power now though, because of the amount of extra little vehicles I've attached to it. Like the speeder bikes, the 2 aerial drones, and the mechs, and then there's the RC car thing that's underneath the lift. So it does need a fairly regularly refueling with hydrogen to power up the hydrogen engines. But once it's fully charged, once all its batteries are done up, it's got a decent amount of power. It's only really the drones that consume the most of it, and the refinery when it's running. But I've set up controls to turn all that kind of stuff on and off when you don't need it. Right, these drones, they're going to go back to behaving properly. Can't turn you on. Hopefully there's no wolves left in the vicinity to confuse you. Yeah, good. Right, you haven't found any wolves. Sweet. That one's B. There's A. There it is. Right, I'll turn your AI behaviour back on, can I? Cool. Right, sweet. Right, so back to what we were doing before. So I'm gonna need... an enemy target of some description. So for now, we'll just take a speeder bike. We'll make a copy of that. Land that back down. Take you over here. Where are we? Somewhere around here. Right, yeah, we'll stick that there. A little distance away. Everything can see us. And we'll make this... hang on. Damage is turned off. Right, cool. That's not going to cause any problems. Right, so we can then take this, make all of this a bad guy, and test out some targeting AI. You guys will run out of bullets, but you will fly around and do stuff. So that can stay there. Right. So, defences. When the base defences are triggered by this block, which is currently targeting that bike, I want it to trigger these two blocks. When it detects something, it will turn the base defences on, and when it stops detecting something, it will turn them off. And when it turns them on, I want it to turn on the AI on all of the sentry guns. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I also want it to activate all of the guns and all the lights that are attached to them, and all of the cameras, so they can see what they're doing. So, first things first, I'll do the lights. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 pairs for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That can be lights. We've got the 4 cameras. 1, 2, 3, and 4 lights, camera, and then we've got 1 set of guns, 2 set of guns, 3 set of guns, 4 set of guns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all the auto cannons. 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is all the Gatling guns. That should be lights, cameras, action. That's the AI, and that should be everything for that one. And we'll do the opposite way around with this one. So, sentry bits. We will first of all turn off the AI on everything. And then we'll do the same with this stuff. Turn off all the lights and all the cameras and all the guns. 6, 7, 8. That's all the lights. That is all the cameras. And then we've got all the various guns, because there is 4 guns on each sentry mount. And then, as an added bonus, we are going to add some velocity resets to all of these, because if you turn off turret control in the middle of doing something like turning, moving, lifting up and down, or whatever, it will stick with that amount of velocity applied to that hinge. So if you do it with a rotor, for instance, the rotor will just spin indefinitely in a circle. So when it turns off, I want it to reset the velocity on all of these. And that way, when the AI turns off, the guns will just stop dead in their tracks where they are. So they're doing nothing right now, and hopefully I've set this up correctly. Let's do keep original ownership. I will put that out. No bad guys, everybody goes back to what they're doing. Let's turn the lights out so we can see better. Paste bad guy back in. There you go, everyone's detected bad guy, everyone starts firing. Except this dude over here. And when bad guy is destroyed, everybody stops, goes back to what they're doing. Oh yeah, that gun was just being daft, it can reach it. Cool. There you go, that's some automated base defences, turns off all the guns. Oh, there you go, that's what I was talking about. That fail-safe obviously didn't quite work, because those rotors are still spinning. But, there you go. Enemy detected, and they should all get back in. Yeah, you're misbehaving, aren't you? Do I get the right rotors in that timer? Defenses off. Oh, idiot. I told it to decrease velocity, that's why. It is working, I just told it to do the wrong thing. Up there. It's a bit close for the ones at the front. Go back there. Yeah, there you go. Everything turns off and stops spinning and doing stupid things. Why have you landed and not... Oh, because you've missed by a little tiny bit. That's annoying. I wondered why you hadn't quite made it. There you go. Yeah, the drones are now set up to auto-lock down as soon as they come into contact with that. And then they automatically start recharging. Oh, that's why, because it's dark and your battery ran out. That's why. Maybe I need to tweak your recharge settings. Because each of the drones is now equipped with a pair of event controllers, one that looks at how full the battery is and one that looks at how low the battery is. And the low one recalls it back here, and the full one launches it when it's full again. So I might need to tweak the battery low controller a little bit. Hopefully that helps a little. So, yeah, that's... oh yeah, that was something I also wanted to do. Because I have been doing this vanilla walk control thing to get around using the precise timer script. I usually end up sticking a sound block on the end of that rotor, just for the hell of having something on the end of it. And I was thinking of using that sound block, those tags back on there for that one. I was thinking of using that as the base defense's sound block, so that when the AI detects something, it can say, yeah, we'll get a bit closer, we'll get actually into the cockpit, so that when it detects something, it can say,
enemy detected.
yeah, like that. So when the base defenses go on, it will play that. And I'm actually going to increase the range of it a little bit.
Warning, enemy detected.
Yeah. So, something like that. Oh yeah, I'll have to make a new bad guy to test it out. So let's take that, let's copy and paste that. Lock that back down. Oh yeah, I haven't built a conveyor connection for these things because they're a little bit too compact to have a built-in conveyor port, so you have to manually arm them from the side of the gun. Which is why I mounted the gun sideways, so you can just about access the ports at the side. You could probably do with a little bit more lift. I'll just bring it over here, it doesn't need to be in line with the guns. I'm testing the sound block, I want to be able to hear it. Where we are. There we are. Make that bad guy.
Warning, enemy detected.
Sweet, that's what I wanted. Oh, you'll rinse through the ammo that I had left on the ship. No. Oh, is it an awkward angle? Is it too high up? I'll have to adjust some settings. Let's adjust that a little bit then. Let's let you aim in slightly further. Let's say 110. Oh, you can do more than that. Let's say 120 on the other side. So it'd be minus 120 on this side. And then it all turns off and goes back to normal. Fantastic. Right. So this thing is not far off being finished, Ira. A little bit of work I've got to do on the inside. Oh yeah, I also added lights on the outside so that you can sort of tell when walk mode is activated from third person. So when that light is blinking, walk mode is active. When both of them are blinking, auto walk is active. And yeah. There's a little extra ladder at the back, so you don't have to go through the crew cabin. You can go up the tower instead. I'm guessing those doors are automated. The weather's kicking in, I think. Oh, that's the only problem. I keep getting myself stuck in that little gap there. You've got to be careful of that. Right. The drones are only half charged, so we can move somewhere. Where was I going to go? Oh, we're there. Let's try and get him to the top of that hill. Or the top of that mountain, rather. So, walk mode is activated, auto walk is activated, and everything's getting a bit foggy because I turned the weather effect back on, just for... why not? And I've set up a few cameras now, so we've got front camera right on the nose of the ship. We've got a rear camera on the back. And we've got one at the top of the tower. So I can see most of what is going on below me. And it gives you a pretty decent view. It's pretty much above most of the tree lines. And we can steer from this position. And yeah, I think I'm just going to add maybe one more camera to the bottom for lining this thing up more precisely with certain locations. And we've also got, it's not really that effective right now while the sun is up. We do have some lights on the ship now as well. Oh, it is very foggy. Yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of spotlights, searchlights, a couple of spotlights on the front. Oh, it is very, very, very foggy now. And yeah, got battery controls on the toolbar as well, so we can turn them on off when needed, or stick them all on recharge. Oh, very difficult to see where we're going now. Then some trees are a little bit problematic ploughing through. Some of the bigger ones the ship gets stuck on. It's not quite got enough mass and velocity to plough through them. Oh god, it's really foggy now. Oh my god. I never usually play with the weather effects on because they're quite distracting. I forgot how foggy it gets. Right, that's actually ridiculous. I can't see what I'm doing now. Turning that off. Right, oh my god, there we go. And, oh yeah, and I also stuck some friction controls on the toolbar. For the suspensions to help with climbing and ascending, because sometimes you need a bit more friction, sometimes you need a little bit less. Because the way friction controls work on the wheels in this game isn't an exact science. It's a little bit janky, no matter what you try and do. Right, you need to get somewhere fairly flat and level. I'll stop there for a second. And yeah, I've set up a failsafe in the controls so that you can turn walk mode on. You can use that to walk around, do what you like. You can turn on auto walk mode so that it does everything, well, it does all the forward walking and stuff automatically for you. And turn eventually. It's getting quite heavy. But the fail-safe that I've put in place, you can just switch the whole thing off in one go, and it will reset the whole thing. And you don't have to worry about turning the auto walk off and then turning the walk mode off, or breaking it or confusing it. And then you can just turn it all back on, and it all goes back to default. So I'm back in control again, or I can stick it back on auto walk. Gonna try and not end up in that hole as best as possible. Yeah, it's a bit heavy, a bit wobbly. It weighs about 1,000 tons now, but it can get up and down some really horrible terrain fairly well. And it can generally maintain about 6-7 meters a second as well, which is fairly impressive for a big lump of metal this size. Right, let's bring that to a stop for a minute, because there was a few things else that I wanted to do. I wanted to put in some Star Trek style red flashing lights into the defense system when enemies are detected, because why not? So, oh, that's one of the drones taking off. There it goes. That was our little alarm to let us know. Cool. We are at a bit of a horrible angle here. Should probably move somewhere a little bit flatter. Possible. It's not really much better at all, is it? No. Because we're on a gigantic hill. Yeah, the drones can just deal with it for now. So, I wanted to build some kind of... Oh, there goes the other drone. Yep, off it goes. So, red flashing enemy alert kind of lights. We could do one there and one there. I should have named all of those interior lights. Yes, I did. And we've got all of them. So, when an enemy attacks, I want it to go full Star Trek style. I want all of the interior lights to turn off. And I want all of the red alert lights to start flashing. Five meters isn't really far enough. Let's make it 10. 10 might be a bit much. Split the difference. Yeah, it's got one flash in there, one flash in here. We'll do that. So let's make it red. Yeah, that'll do for now. Here's the front light. Just do that for now. And we can have another one over there doing the same thing. Some fairly good coverage of the entire room. You see it through the tinted windows. Yeah, right, I'm happy with that one. Where can we squeeze some of the red alert lights into this base? Get one there. I can get one there. Fantastic. Through cabin. Yeah, and get one there as well. Copy that one. Paste that into there. Number 2, so we can keep track of all these numbers as we go. Yeah. Cool, that'll do it there. Don't need one out there. Could do with some in here. Yeah. Oh God. A few places we could go from, really. Two lights bundled up together there. What would it be like to stick them there and there on either side of the main lift? What? And then maybe we get something up there. Yes, we can. We'll go with that. Bit like that. Yeah, that's some fairly decent coverage. Oh no, I don't really want to move it forward a block, because I want the little things to scrub with that gyro as possible. So, to stay there, and I can just increase the range of it slightly. Increase the range of some around a little bit. Oh, this end of the ship's going to be tricky there. All very tight on space up here. Lock down into the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is in line with this. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, so there it is. Yeah, we'll stick one there. Oh, you know what? I haven't been naming any of these. That's going to be lower deck. Oh, it's Poppy. That's lower deck number 2. Lower deck number 3. Might actually make you go 10 meters. That's a bit better. Light reaches out the back door a little bit. Looks a bit nicer. Four. Yeah, that light overlaps fairly well. Right. 1, 2, 3. 4. Oh no, I won't get one there. I won't get one there. That is the interior light for this part of the ship. That is reserved for other stuff later. The only place to get another light up here is to stick one in here somewhere, or we're getting one in here, are we? No, we're not. So that's taken up by that sign. Oh, I think. Was it actually low enough to the ceiling, or high enough? I could use one of the new interior wall light blocks. Where is it? It's wall, pillar, corner, corner, corner. I've gone past it. There it is, light. What then? In there. I can do that end of the ship. There's a substantial gap. Let's make that 10. Wood here a bit better. That still doesn't quite reach there. Is there anywhere else I can squeeze the light? No, I've literally taken up every square inch of space in here. Oh well. And what about here? No, there's a sign there, and there's a sign there. Is what it is. That'll do anyway. I'll figure out where to go through that little gap. Then you're probably doomed from the beginning. Reach that a little bit. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so we can now tie those lights into the base defenses controllers. You have that turn on and off when we detect bad guys. Right, so so we've got all these base defense lights. Let's stick the base's ID number on its beginning. So that we know we've done this bit. Right, so do base defenses. We'll take that, make a group, call it that, and then base defenses on when we detect a bad guy. It will, first of all, it will turn off the interior lights. Oh, wrong one. And then it will turn on the base defense lights, and then we'll do the opposite for this one. Just get there. So, defense lights turn off. Interior lights and turn back on. Hopefully. Post back. That. Everything's on. Get rid of him. Everything turns off and goes back to normal. Base defences turn on, warning lights turn on, everything starts flashing. You can't really make a tell difference anyway because the guns are all going mad. And that's very, very loud. Let's get rid of that. Because that was probably feeding back through our microphone, that was so loud. So, there we go. Cool. Base defences up and running. So, that's some base defences. And some lighting to go with it, which I'm quite happy with. What else have we got then? Other than just naming things, I think this thing isn't far off being ready to go. Unless anybody else has any suggestions. There's a few more things I need to on the display screens. That's what we got here. We've got 2 empty ones and all the others are taken up now. And we've got another empty one there, so we've got 3 empty display screens. One for each of the speeder bikes. Oh, injector system. You know what? I might make one for the base defences, so even though we know, we can just take one of the signs for now. Base defences. Display. What was it? Text and images. Size 3 text. Make it red like everything else. Center. I think it's about 35 or something. Or might be 30. Find out in a second. Danger. Text. See if that fits. Ooh, it's a bit big. Let's rearrange that text slightly then. That. I'll call it 25, so it's a bit more in the middle, so that we can jump into the pilot seat. Yeah, we can add that to list of stuff. I do seem to have far more stuff on that side than that side at the minute. Everything else on that side is turned off. What's that one? Oh, that's the lift. That's auto walk. That's the mech piston at the back. Yeah, whatever. So, we can add that into the base defences as well then. So, defences on. Def helm sign, we can turn that on. Def helm sign, we can turn that off. And then when bad guy appears and disappears, it'll turn that sign on and off too. So, bad guy appear. Defences kick in after about 5 seconds, and there we go. Bad guy disappears. And that sign has turned off with the rest of them. Cool. Really? Oh yeah. I've been adding the AI emotion block into various actions. So let's add him into the base defenses as well. Let's give him the evil face when the bad guys appear. There it is. And we'll make him go back to neutral again when it stops. Jump out there. Bad guy appears. That didn't do anything. Oh, it's like done the wrong way around. Nope. Did I do the right thing? Nope, definitely switch it to... Oh, hang on. I got a conflict coming in from somewhere else. Potentially. I wonder what's conflicting with you. Or something. Emotion controller. You are definitely assigned to there. Because you're meant to make the happy face when I jump into the cockpit. Are you making the happy face? I can't tell. Because you're behind me. You're not doing anything at all. You're switched on. You're just being stupid then. Fine, whatever. The emotion controller wants to be buggy today, apparently. Nope, you ain't doing nothing, are you? Fine. Wait, hang on. Why does that say that? Oh, I named it the wrong stupid thing. Why have I called it that? That for a start. Well, that's not actually the solution to my problem. Why don't you want to behave today? See, you've got yourself selected. Nope, just doesn't. Fine, whatever. Right, so AI defenses are kind of working. Well, actually, working pretty well. The mech control setup for the mech bay works pretty well. I also... Oh yeah. Wanted to... the camera somewhere underneath. Somewhere, I think around here is probably the only spot I've got left. It's remotely plausible. There you go. So I want to be able to see the terrain directly underneath me as well. And I also wanted one more camera for the toolbar. Cool. So now we can see in front, behind, underneath, and from the top. Yeah, just in time to watch one of the drones attempt to land and hopefully not smeg anything up. How do you deal with this horrible incline we're on? Ah, there you go. Right, so that's been about half an hour. I'm going to go and grab another cup of tea. I will be back in 5 minutes. So just enjoy the scenery for now. I will see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. Hello again. Right, I am back with my fresh cup of tea. Thought it wouldn't be long. So, this thing ain't far off finished, I reckon. Let me try and find an excuse to fill some of these gaps in a little bit with something. But it's not looking too far off. Quite happy with the way everything works. The drones are behaving pretty well. They land and dock successfully, like 99% of the time now. Yeah, there was a few things I wanted to check. Oh, hello, Limber. What's that? Limber Nebula 514. Hello. Right, so the other thing I wanted to have a look at was the drone on the bottom of here. After readjusting him a little bit to make him a little bit more efficient, he doesn't seem to want to auto-launch back out here again. So I'm going to try and see if I can fix that. Because he was reversing himself quite nicely out of his little... Wait for it. There we go, holding area. I think, yeah, because of the way I've tweaked some things, I'm not quite doing it properly. Before, I'd turn him off and he'd reverse straight out, and it was working really well. So I need to figure out what's broken here now. Why am I 5 seconds away? Yeah, because he does trigger that. Right, I think it might be to do the way I changed his sensors. I had to move them back a bit. Come on, get out of the way. So let's have a look at your sensor controls. Where are they? Let's show them. Let me turn your AI off, turn that off, so I can take control. It does trigger it. Interesting. Touch you back on. Detach you. Hoping it'd make it trigger that. What could I do? Because I think it was almost a glitch of the way I'd set it up. It was making it auto-deploy and reverse out, and now I can't get it to do it when I want it to. You've not got a great deal of room to work with on this drone. He's very small. I can't really put any more blocks on him without ruining his whole vibe. So we've got RC Drone. Dock control. So this is the event controller that turns everything on and off on this drone and resets everything when we detach it. So, could I get away with... Could I get away with triggering his reverse drive timer when he detaches? Will that work? Sort of. He was reversing much further last time. Oh. It's also probably because... Oh, that's one of the drones landing. Yeah, it'll be because that's longer, so it's triggering that, which is making it stop. Yes, that's the problem. Get in there, he'll just walk out. And off he goes. Yeah, you know what, I might decrease that front sensor a little bit. Bring that back down. Where were we? 7 meters. Six look like. Might shrink it down to 5, see what that does. Sensor. Forward. Let's bring that range down to 5. Where's he gone? There he is. Right. Stop wriggling around. Let's turn all that off. Control him myself. He's a bit janky because of his wheelbase, because he's so small. But the lift should drop in a place with just enough room for us to squeeze underneath. Using these two button panels as a kind of guiding rail, although we have come too far forward. Hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, no, see that barely connects there. Anyway, he's attached. There we go. I think that's about the most I'm going to get out of him now. Without... Might increase the ranges actually. Make it a little bit further. See how that works. So I'll put that... Where's it gone? There it is. Put that back to 7.5. We'll increase that one. Where's that? Detecting. That might be an issue. Let's take that out. Where's that detecting subgrids? Where was it? Back. We'll make that 6. There we go. That seemed to do a little bit better. Right. Turn that off. Take control of him again. Drive him back into his little spot. Connect back up. Eject. There you go. That's better. Have to give him slightly longer sensor ranges, and that way you can actually have better stopping distance. And hopefully not crash as much. And try and avoid things better. At least a little bit. Cool, right. Let's test it again. Take that out. Off, off, off. But I am in control. 3V. And we can drive back over here. Let me squeeze ourselves back onto there. Connect back up. Kicks us out of the cockpit or the remote control. He then goes back onto battery charge. There you go. That's what I wanted. He's working much better now. He can auto-deploy himself. That's what I'd screwed up. I just hadn't set the sensor ranges back to the way they were. Cool. Right, turn those sensor fields back off again. Don't need to see them anymore. Turn him off, and we'll put him back in his little home again. Where are we? There we are. So yeah, he's got... Oh, there goes the drone. He's got about an hour's worth of time on him. So he can follow you a decent bit. It's got a little bit of weapon storage in the top, and a little gun to help defend you. Currently, I don't have a way to automate him rearming, but he's only got one little gun anyway, so you've just got to stick a bit of ammo in the side. And he has got an offensive block as well, in case a bad guy should turn up. Like so.
Warning,
And then
enemy
he
detected.
should have some enemy AI should kick in. Maybe. I'm sure I put an offensive block on the drone. Yes, I did. He's doing stupid things, that's why. Oh yeah, off he goes now. So yeah, he's capable of defending you, sort of, as well, just about. We'll definitely go and intercept enemy AI, or enemy targets. I think that's all the ammunition on the ship and in the drones now. There is he? There he is. And if we get rid of the enemy threat, he should come right back like a faithful little puppy. Here he comes. Yeah, there he goes. So, yeah, you could take him out and about with you while you're exploring, reconning. He's got an ore detector on him, and he's got a relay, and he's got an antenna, so you can transmit, and you can detect ore with him up to the pitiful range that ore detectors have. He's also got a little orange light, like all the others, and an event controller, keeping an eye on his battery charge. So when he gets to less than 25%, you'll get a little warning that he's running low, and you might need to take him back home to recharge. But like I said, he's got about an hour's worth of battery, so you can do a decent bit of roaming before you have to head home again. Where's he gone? There he is. Oop, there's a tree behind me. How do you handle trees? How well to deal with them? Sensors don't recognise trees, do they? That's good. Well, that's good to know. Do I have to rescue you now? Really? There we go. Right, well there you go. Sensors can't detect trees. Oh, they might count as asteroids. I've not got it set to detect asteroids because that would cause all sorts of problems with them being that low to the floor. That might be it. Right, anyway, let's put him back in his little carriage. So I'll turn them off. So you've got controls to do everything, even though he's got no ammo. Oh, why have I got that connector twice? Don't need that. Yeah, don't need that. That there for now, even though I've not set him up with any autopilot controls. I'll have that there just in case. I've still not fully decided on what his little toolbar controls are going to be. That page is pretty much sorted, but he's mostly intended to be used as a like a little assistant drone. Although you can use him as a little scout. And use him to scout the area on foot or on the ground. Oh, not something I could do actually. Yeah, that's something I can do. We could have some speed limit controls for our wheels. That'd come in handy. Right, where are we? We're there, we're on the wrong side. Then we can check there to see if we're lined up. Yes, we are. Cool. Oh yeah, I need that space camera. Yeah, that'll do. So then, when we're done with that, we can record the whole thing. That will all fold up, and there should hopefully be enough clearance across the bottom and the drone to not scrape on the doors. And we can instead pull down one of our mech suits. Which are a bit tricky to reach from ground level. But they can be detached. And when you detach them, like everything else, it turns them on and off. Oh, hey Dr. Headbone. How you doing, man? And then, yeah, you can have one of the mechs to patrol around in. They're not particularly awesome on really steep terrain, just because of how the smaller mechs work and how the friction in this game works. But they have got a little thruster on the back to help you push uphill, and they've got a decent enough walk cycle. And I also built them with a reverse mode now as well. You can walk backwards and forwards. I'm good, man. Mostly just finishing touches on this walking base, because it's not far off being done now, I think. A lot of the control systems I want are in place. I was just showing off some of the bits that are basically finished now, like the mech walker, the RC drone. I've just fixed him so he more or less auto-deploys now. The mech walkers have got little holding areas at the back, and pretty much the whole reason I had to rework them and get in a reverse mode is so I could actually get them mounted on the back of here. So they've all got a little camera on the back now, directly above its connector, so you can actually see what you're doing, and all you got to do is just line yourself up with that piston, like so, and then you can connect on. And there is a docking relay control, so that you can call the arm down automatically from the floor, and you can use it to pull yourself back up as well. And that sits in there, and you can access the mech from there. And when it connects up, they turn back on, and all the batteries go back on charge, and everything that doesn't need to be on turns off to conserve power. And we can do the exact same thing with this one from this side. I've made one with autocannons and one with Gatling guns. And each of these arms has got a little sensor on the bottom that detects the floor, so it drops the mech right where it wants to be. Then we can detach. We can go for a walk, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's about it really. It's working pretty well so far. I think though I may have screwed up the design slightly, because I forgot this was 2-block wide symmetry rather than 3-block. So I think that piston might be a bit far over, but I'm not rebuilding it, I can't be bothered. It is what it is. So you can take that, we can reverse back into position. We can connect back up to that. And take ourselves back up, and I think, yeah, the way I've set it up, I might be a block too far over on this side. Yeah, I am. Crap. I knew I'd done something stupid. Yeah, because these don't have center symmetry, so yeah, that's why his arm keeps scrubbing. Yeah, it's all right. It's just because these guys don't have a center block that like evenly symmetrical rather than odd symmetrical. So this guy is a block out, that guy is a block closer in because of the way I've positioned stuff. But it only scrubs a little bit, and you can eke yourself over a little bit more. And to be honest, I'm not lined up amazingly well there, but I'm not changing it now. It is what it is. Yeah, and we've got all the interior nonsense. Some mistakes. I have had some happy accidents. Oh yeah, and I'd just started, well, I'd just finished setting up the AI red alert enemy detected kind of system. Let's look at that badge on the clipboard. Yeah, I have. So, when an enemy is detected,
Warning.
the red alert lights go on, everything else turns off, all the guns activate. There's a little voice on the sound block to tell you an enemy has been detected. And then, when that enemy is destroyed, all turns off. Goes back to normal. For some reason, this emotion block doesn't want to play ball today. He's supposed to be tied into loads of various commands, and he's not doing anything, so I'm not sure what's happened with him. So... I think what else actually needs doing, rather than just greebling and putting in more little details. I've also set up the drill arms. They've got a little control seat either side to control the drill arms directly. And we've got spotlights, we've got searchlights, we've got plenty of lighting so that you can see reasonably well in the dark. Might add some kind of lighting out here, maybe. That's plenty well lit. Yeah, this thing's not far off being done. Oh, what are you doing? How have you got stuck on there, you fool? Idiot. Very well done. If I move the ship, will you fall off, or will you just be stuck up there and I have to copy and paste you? Come on. Fall off, flip over, catch yourself. There you go. Stupid ship. Yeah, I'm not sure what else there is much left to do on this thing, other than tidy up a few bits and then publish it. I would... Oh yeah, that's what I could do. I could turn some of these signs that I'm using on the toolbar into actual buttons. And that big tree is apparently... Oh, there we go. We plowed through it eventually. Yeah, I could turn some of those signs into actual buttons, and that could fill up some of the supercomputer space. What have I got there? What are those? Arms, neck connected. Oh, I don't want them on there anyway. Yeah, I don't need any of that crap. Don't need that. Don't need that. That's all the battery settings for the various vehicles that are attached. That can all come off because that's just from when I was building the walk cycle. That can come out of there. We got then. That can do that. That can do that. Yeah, I can put sentry gun controls in there as well. Oop, there's a big crevasse coming up. Don't want to fall down there. That would be very bad. But yeah, it's pretty good at covering most kinds of terrain and incline. Well, obviously it couldn't get through. It'd have a hard time getting through that because of how narrow everything is, but he's got enough power and speed in his walk cycle to get up some pretty steep hills with a little bit of persuasion. Because I've been testing him out for the last couple of days while I've been building him to see if he's actually effective at travelling around the map, and he actually is. Where are we now? We're there. I have gone all the way across all of these waypoints. I've been tracking my journey while I've been building this dude and testing him out, and I've managed to get him up some really, really steep terrain. I've got him all the way up this hill. Got him all the way down there. Around and around and around in a big circle, then came back. And came up here. I was quite impressed he managed to get up this. So he's not doing too bad in terms of getting around. Although the bigger trees, some of the bigger trees are a bit much for him. There he goes. Right. Yeah, I was thinking of building some other mobile bases. Yeah, some things you can't get him through, obviously. That would be quite difficult, but like I said, he's fairly good at climbing steep hills, so if you can find a way up and around, he's been pretty good at that. Because I've had to do that a few times on this journey while I've been testing him, and I want to take him all the way up there next. Because yeah, I can send him down things like that, and he's not too bad. He tips right over, but he's got a long enough body on him that he doesn't tip too far, and the extra legs at the side help him to stop tipping over sideways. Oh yeah, I also added some exhaust pipes at the back, so that when the walk mode, when you're actually walking, it pumps some smoke out the back. Because why not? Actually, before we climb up that hill, we might stay down here on the flats for a little bit. Yeah, the biggest problem with this thing is power consumption. Because he's got quite a few bits and pieces attached to him now. Like the 2 drones that are constantly in flight. Ah, that is something I could do with a control for. Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, I wanted to do a stream yesterday, but my internet was being even worse than it is today. I just could not get a decent connection, so I just did lots of greebling instead. So I've added lots and lots and lots of extra little details like ladders and a little crow's nest type thing at the top, and more cameras and ladder access and all that kind of stuff. And the interior is mostly done now. He's got 1 industrial refinery, 1 industrial assembler, 2 hydrogen engines, 3 O2H2 generators, and there's an extra sneaky one tucked in there because I needed a connection. And all of this stuff can be turned on and off as and when it's needed, because it all drains power. Particularly the refinery, that draws a lot of power. So they've all got buttons and they've all got signs to say they're on and off. It's all pretty well lit now. There's the right colour. And then I built some drill seats as well. So when you jump in, there's a spotlight on the top that shines down. This is one of the things I need to make an actual button for, rather than just turning on the sign. So we can hit a button, oop, and that will deploy the drill arm. And then from there, I can control either the top half or the lower half, and I set up some vanilla controls to extend and retract the pistons. So there is a bunch of event controllers on the bridge in the supercomputer, and now when I push forward and backward on the controls, so W and S, it extends the first piston, and the jump button and the crouch button extend the second piston. And that way you can have much better control when you're drilling stuff. So you can have one to act like a boom arm, and one to act like a plunger, or you can angle them both right down into the ground. Yeah, WASD or ASWD or whatever combination you want. So you can control the drill arm with the mouse, and you can extend the drill and retract it with your regular buttons. And you can do some drilling. And if you turn it all off, it'll all just retract. Oh, and I also had built an ejector system that also needs a button. Oh, that's one of the drones landing. Nope, not the part script, no script at all 100% vanilla. The only mods or scripts or anything going on in this save file is build vision and build info, and that is it. Oh, and sneaky sounds. No scripts. Just playing with vanilla blocks. The piston controls is literally just event controllers looking at thrust output on the ion thrusters on the back of this seat, and those thrusters activating triggers the extending and retracting, or it increases and decreases the velocity on those pistons. So when you push the forward button, it moves one forward. When you push the back button, it moves one back. And because they're ions, they don't generate very much force at all in atmosphere. If you wanted to use this on a planet without atmosphere that requires ion thrusters, you might have to swap them to something else. I'm not sure how well Atmos work in ion environments, but yeah, it's literally just controlled by that. So if I turn it on, it turns all the thrusters on, and then firing those thrusters is what does all that stuff. Yes. They absolutely are, because I learnt that the hard way. Because when they're on, they all do stuff, and you can see the drill behaving or misbehaving. So yeah, I am totally aware of that one, man. And yeah, and there's one either side. They both do the same thing. There's a window so you can see what you're doing. You can also have camera control. And there's a bit of space. Oh, it's getting foggy again. I've left a bit of space there for modules for the assemblers and refineries when and if anyone wants to install such things. And there's an upper deck up here to access more cargo, and the refinery, because the only way to access the refinery is blocked up on both sides. More hydrogen engines. Our turn control system using gyroscopes on rotors with shear inertia tensor on. Oh yes, I also need to set up the AI for the ship, because I wanted it to be able to follow me. Because I was going to do something stupid. Oh, hello engineer 052. Sorry, I didn't even realise it was you that said that then. My eyesight is terrible. I didn't realise you were here. Sorry, dude. What's that? You can do the same setup for legs when driving as well to make the entire vehicle lean that way. Oh yeah, well that's pretty much how my leg system works. Let's turn the fog off so we can actually see what we're doing. I don't know why I turned the weather back on. Each of the legs has got an event controller that is connected to a light that moves each part of the leg by turning those lights on and off. And then I've got a walk system with some timers to make them do the walk cycle timer and tick over. And then the whole thing can be manually controlled by these thrusters here. And to get around not having to turn inertial dampeners off on the main cockpit, it has an extra one with a little bit of override on it. And that way you don't get the thrusters flickering like they would without the inertial dampening on. But yeah, those thrusters there ultimately turn the walk mode on and off, or make it walk forward and backward. So we've got a button to turn the walk cycle on, and then that little thruster down the bottom firing is what is activating that one, and then the other one in the middle that you can't really see from that angle makes it walk in reverse. And that way I don't need any scripts. Oop, he's bouncing. Occasionally he likes to get a bit bouncy. because the friction in this game works in mysterious ways. Especially when you're trying to reverse uphill. So we will just continue forwards instead. It's a bit easier. And yeah, the drones can lock down pretty well when they run out of power. Oh, cheers, man. But yeah, I've been thinking about doing some other mobile-based designs. So I saw somebody's video about the Mortal Engines Space Engineers server. I saw some very interesting creations on that, and I've been thinking about making another mobile base, but something much bigger. Something at least twice the size of this. And I'll probably make it reactor powered instead. What's that? You do Strider style mechs? Ah, sound. What do you mean by Strider specifically? Or is there a specific reason that there's a Y in there? What's the difference between a Strider and a Walker? But either way, that's cool that you've had success on Xbox. I started playing this game on Xbox years ago. That's where I first got into Space Engineers. That's why I've still got a bit of a thing about doing things as vanilla as possible, I think. Because back in those days I had to do vanilla. Whereas these days I can play with all sorts of scripts and mods, but we now have event controllers, and event controllers are wondrous things that can do all kinds of cool stuff. But I need to build some more buttons into here for things. Because I would rather have timers on my toolbar. Because if I put all of these on-off switches for these hollow LCDs into timers, I can then use the timers as a fail-safe switch, if I need to. Oh, Strider. You call them Striders, I call them Skimmers. I know what you mean. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people start doing mechs and Space Engineers, is starting with Striders. Or Skimmers, whatever you want to call them, that kind of glide around on wheels but with like thruster power. That's where I started. Doing the walking mechanics though, now that we've got event controllers, you could easily start building like actual walk cycles for your mechs, because that was the biggest problem I had on Xbox years ago. Trying to do walk cycles for small things without scripts was very difficult, because the slowest you could make a timer tick over was 1 second. But now with event controllers, you can actually get a much faster response out of out of timers using event controllers. So basically, the walk cycle in this and all of my new mechs. In fact, I will show you on one of these guys, because it's more obvious and less likely to break stuff. But yeah, all my new walkers now, they've all got a pair of event controllers and a rotor. And the event controllers look at the rotor, and as the rotor spins, it triggers the event controllers, which trigger the timer. So we've got that little, you can see the sound block there, but I actually need to paint because it's still the old colour. Yeah. So that sound block is on a rotor, and that rotor is triggering these two event controllers here, and as they spin round, they activate the walk cycle timer, which is set up to trigger the lights in the legs, which are set up to respond to event controllers and move it all around. And so what it means is if you use the rotor, I can make the legs tick over at that speed if I want to. Or, if I take this rotor down a little bit, take it down to 30 RPM, it now ticks over much slower. Or, you can take that rotor and crank it right up and get the legs to move quite quick, and then you can do like a little run. And if you need it to go faster, because obviously a rotor has a maximum velocity of 60 RPM, if you need it to go faster, just add in more event controllers and do the maths and split 360 by however many event controllers you've got. Because this one has 2, so that it can tick all the way up to 120 RPM essentially. But some of my other designs have got like 3 or 4, so they can go really, really fast with the legs. And all you have to do is offset the trigger values on them by however many controllers you've got divided by 360 degrees. So that being 2 is 180 a piece. My only advice is set it something above 10 degrees, because I've noticed at high velocities event controllers have difficulty triggering things below 10 and minus 10 degrees for whatever reason. So I usually start at 10, offset 180 from there, which is 190, and there you go. And then you can more accurately adjust your walk speed to the size and shape of your mech, because otherwise you're restricted to setting things in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and usually 1 second isn't anywhere near fast enough. So I came up with that way of doing it instead. And that way you can, like I said, you can balance your walk speed of your mech nicer to the actual speed of the legs. Because occasionally some mechs do need a little bit of a pause in between their steps so that they can shift their weight. The bigger the mech, the more time they generally need to shift their weight. So it's usually a good idea to put a little bit of a delay in their walk cycle, otherwise they can end up trying to do backflips if their legs are flapping around too quickly. And we can back up to there, join back on, use the relay signal, because there is a relay, if you'll notice, at the top right of the screen on the back of each of these arms, and that can call us back up. Yeah, we'll just shift him over a little bit. It's not too bad. He's got enough clearance. I'm happy with that. Yeah. So that's them two. So I wanted to add some timers for buttons then to our small grid supercomputer. Because you don't have to use large grid control blocks on a large grid thing, you can cheat and use the rotor trick or the hinge trick to get small grid bits on, and as long as they're attached to the grid, they will still work. So all the control systems on this thing are all small grid. The only large grid control blocks that are on here right now are the AI blocks for the actual ship itself, which I'm not really set up yet. Okay, so I wanted to change. I wanted to make those drill arm controls actual buttons for a start. So I can use that to fill up some space in here. Where put them? Oop, that a drone taking off. That is a drone taking off. That's why I put the alarms in there, so you know when they're coming in and out. Where shall I put one? I'll put it there. What's that? That's base defences. What's that? That can be drill arm L01 on off. That one, that's the one. That can be R01. So now, how much do those... This mech, this one here, now weighs just short of 1,000 tons. But that is because he is made out of quite a few large grid blocks and he's got quite a few subgrids attached to him. But yeah, you can make mechs essentially as strong as you like, or as big as you like, because you can join rotors and hinges and pistons together in tandem with a bit of clever building. And a bit of thinking. Like, these legs at the front and the back are all double hinged to get a bit more power and a bit more stability out of them. Hinges can be a little bit scrubby sometimes sitting side by side, but for the most part they're usually alright. And you can do a similar thing with rotors, or it's a bit trickier and you need a lot of space. Because rotors you can't really build in tandem the same way because of the direction of movement, but what you can do is have a rotor here, build another structure here and have another one tacked onto the side, and then you can double the torque of the rotors that way. But you end up having to build a very big kind of joint for it to fit two rotors either side. The Strider mechs are absolutely more practical for getting around. Walker mechs, as cool as they are completely and utterly impractical for most things, particularly in this game. They're mostly just for fun and coolness. But in terms of actual like combat effectiveness, yeah, Strider's way better because it's essentially just a hovercraft with some decent suspension on the bottom of them. I've made plenty of Striders myself. I'm actually working on a little AI skimmer Strider, whatever you want to call it, thing at the moment, which I need to get back to eventually. But yeah, we can rebuild, or build rather, those buttons. So drill arm on off L01. Drill helm sign. Turning on and off, and that can do the same. Because a lot of the systems on this ship are actually controlled by signs and lights and things turning on and off. A lot of these panels actually double as on-off switches for some things. So now I can swap that control on there to that, and that control on there to that. And if I wanted to, I could now add those two timers into the overall control systems group for the ship. And when I turn all of that off, it'll turn these off, and then they can't be triggered when the ship systems are deactivated. What else needed replacing then? What's that? Ejector system, and that needs its own button. Oh yeah, I'd like a button, proper button, for all of the factory equipment, like the hydrogen engines and assemblers and stuff. Yeah, fail-safes are always a good idea. That's how the fail-safe for the walk control works. So I can turn walk mode on and off. Where is it? That one. With that timer at the bottom. And I can turn walk mode on with that timer. And the walk control has a fail-safe in it to deactivate that when I turn it off, which will turn off both of them. And the auto walk can't be activated at all while walk mode isn't active. So yeah, that's exactly how I built a fail-safe to stop the auto walk being triggered when the walk mode isn't actually active. So yeah, putting things into timers, even simple things into timers, work great for that, because then you can just turn that timer off. Have that in your chain of like commands rather than the action by itself, and then you've got the option to turn that action on and off and deactivate it then. Because some things will cause conflict with other stuff. Like, for instance, I need to build some AI controls so that the whole ship can follow me, but I need that control turning on and off to deactivate the thrusters that are on the back of the ship, because the AI blocks will try and take control of the thrusters. I need the thrusters to make the manual control walk work. So, yeah, I will need to put in more failsafes later to turn that kind of stuff on and off. So what else did we want? We wanted that. Oh yeah, let's start with hydrogen engines and O2 generators. I want to try and save those spots for more event controllers, just in case, because I want to try and make this thing as symmetrical as possible, but I might have to just give up on that idea. 1 block, 2 block, 3 block. Ah! Fell down the hole. Because we can put a block there and not be scrubbing on anything. So also, the good thing about using rotors to trigger your walk cycles is if you use a regular rotor, the heads don't scrub on anything. And from what I can tell, sound blocks don't scrub on anything either. So you can actually bury that rotor in the middle of stuff and not have it cause any problems. From all of the testing I've done anyway. And I've built quite a few mechs with this new system now, and it seems to work. What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? We could do that for now. And we could have... That's the wrong button, so I'm bringing up the wrong thing. That's the right one. What was it? Oh yeah, O2 H2. Oh, no worries, Dr. Headmonk. Cheers for dropping by and saying hello, man. Always a pleasure. O2H2 generators on slash. Ooh, not question mark. On slash. If that's the wrong button. Off. There we go. Plug me them. And. Oop. What's that? Rockets are their bane. Oh, you mean the Strider Max? Yeah. Well, it's the same for any Mac. Once you blow its legs off, it's basically done for. I mean, that's part of the reason they're completely impractical, but they do look cool. So what else was I doing? That. What's that? O2HG. Oh, yeah. H2 engines. We've got a couple of them on board for power. On off. So on slash off. H2 engines. Engine. There we go. We can turn that on and off, turn that on and off, turn that sign on and off. And where was the O2 gen button? There it is. We take O2, turn that on and off, that on and off, that on and off, and the sign on and off. Ooh, why are you switched on? Are you not added to the group properly? It's got 3 blocks in it. Right, they're all off now. So, I can stick those timers on my toolbar instead now, instead of having the groups. We can have... where is it? O2 generators on and off. No trigger. That's doing the on and off. And then hydrogen engines on and off. That way we can trigger them that way instead. So they are now all switched on. Ah, that needs renaming. That can go there, that can go there. Yeah, cool. And then that H2 engines, let's quickly rename that. Give that the correct tag and everything else. Cool, so that is now. Why is that off again? Oh. Oh. Not like that. Right, so that is all on. Trigger it. That is all off. There we go. Trigger it. That is all on. Cool, right. That is the on-off button for that. They're all off. Trigger them. They're all on. Trigger. Off. Cool, right, so that's got an on-off button as well now. Ejector system, that was another one. I'm sure there was a spare timer still hiding in there. There is. So we'll call that ejector system on off, because there is an ejector and a connector set up on the bottom of the ship to spit out any things we might not want anymore. Namely, stone, gravel, things like that. So the whole ejector system has been built into that timer. It's controlled by that. It's triggered by that hollow sign. It's controlled by that event controller, and it just turns these things on and off. So all we need to do is turn that on and off. And we can add that to our toolbar now. We go underneath the ship. You can set the sorter to eject whatever you like. And then you can just turn the whole thing on. And it'll chuck it all out. And get rid of the things that you don't want and don't need. And when you're done, you can turn the whole thing off again. Cool, so that's buttons for them. Anything else we need proper buttons for? Not really, not right now. Spotlights can stay the way they are, searchlights can stay the way they are, because you can actually get the proper symbol for them. It's not a mixed group of pieces. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So... yeah, there's still a bunch of screens and things up here that I want to set up at some point. But there's not much I can massively do in vanilla. I really, really wish we could get a block. I've said this before, I want a block that functions like an emotion controller, but projects text onto panels rather than little bitmap faces. Really like a block that works like that, because then you could make custom text appear on screens. And it'd be really, really simple to tie that into event controllers to make custom things appear on screens in response to event controllers. And it's an idea I've had brewing for ages, and I really want someone to do it. I really want Keen to do it. So, we'll have to leave that idea for now. I'm also kind of annoyed that these things don't really work as control seats. We can't add anything to these toolbars. Kind of annoying, because they look really cool, but they don't do anything. Right. So... oh, that's an idea I wanted to try out. I wanted to add a few more railings as well, because I want to see if they will potentially help stop drones falling off the side if they come into land on a weird angle. So I think there's enough room there for their feet not to clash. I'm sure they're about the footprint of this bit in the middle. Might actually... yeah, I might actually try putting the railings all the way around, because we've got the angled ones now, haven't we? Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Right, yeah. Let's do that all along, technically, can't I? Yes, sweet. Could we have some armor panel blocks that work in that same way, in that same shape? Because that'd be nice. I mean, we do have some, but... oh yeah, we do. Oh, it's not the armor blocks I wanted, it's something else. Mumbling to myself. Yeah. Might do something like that. Yeah, we can do the same on the back end as well. That's the one. And then I can't get another one there because of that one, but that's fine. And you've got a rail at the back. All that seat. Oh yeah, it's got no ammo left. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better with the handrails going all the way around. Groovy. Yeah, and then we could jump into one of them if we wanted to. Disconnect. Fly away. Scout the area. It's got about an hour, 40 minutes worth of flight time, depending how hard the thrusters are pushing. Like I was saying before, it's got a docking camera underneath, so we can see what we're doing when we come into land. We aim for about there, in between the connector and the mag plate. Should, yeah, about the right level. Back in about the right place. Both of them connect nicely with the mag plate. Lock down, turns it all off, charges it all up again. Yeah, cool. So, other things. What other things might we need to put in place? I need to name that for a start. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this control panel that we'll all need renaming. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's still in tag, that's all boring, do it off screen kind of stuff. What are those rotors? Oh, are they the rotors in the floor? Why not name them? Obviously not. It's not on that one. Ah. Thought I named them. That was daft. Too many groups. Yeah, that's fine. Where was I? Rotors then. Where was it? There it is. Right. Bridge display rotor. That one. And that's all boring stuff for next time, or off screen rather. Right, so we've got 10 minutes left for what I'm going to do on this stream. And short of naming a bunch of stuff, I think this thing is almost ready to go. I might, if I can't think of anything else to put in there, I might just fill the gaps with scaffold blocks. But other than that, I'm doing a few things with some of these screens. I think this thing ain't far off publishing. So I might do all of that boring stuff off stream and get it uploaded to Steam and Mod.io possibly tomorrow. Yeah, because I can't really fit anything else in there. That's all done. Everything's pretty much named. We've got no room to put a sensor on there really. We don't particularly need one. I can stay like that. He works properly now, which is great. Battery output is mixed, but that depends on the sunlight and how much ice you can be bothered mining. The mechs at the back work pretty well and line up nicely. The drones work. The AI defences worked. Oh, and the siren that tells us a drone's coming in to land and recharge works. I'm glad I added that in. And yeah, the drones are pretty good at landing, locking down, going into recharge mode. Yeah, I need to put something on the back of there. Figure that out. Let's go for a walk then, before I call this stream a day. And go get something to eat. Where are we? We're there. Let's go. So, online. Walk controls are online. Auto walk is online. And we can do a big turn and go for a walk up that hill. There we go. Let's see if we're doing a little bit better. I could add a few more cameras actually. And up front, we've got reverse. We've got underneath. In case we need to line up with something. Ooh, bouncy friction in the wheels. Yeah, alright, let's see if we can get up this horrible hill. It is quite a big hill. And if there's one thing that anyone who's built a mech has ever experienced, it is the difficulty getting up a slight incline. It does work occasionally, when it wants to. There we go. And that was just the mech doing it itself. I'm not doing anything right now. He's just on auto walk. I'm not controlling anything else. do with turning a little bit though. Oh, hello, Splatter Effect Gaming. Yeah, man. I do lots of spider stuff. Check out my other videos. The more legs, the better. To be honest, I've not made anything with more than 8 legs before, but it's being a bit of a pain. But that is because of the way fiction in this game works. It is not perfect. Occasionally it bugs out, but that is why I stuck some friction controls on the mech, so we can adjust it a little bit if necessary. We might be fighting with that big tree again. Yeah, go on, knock through it. The doing mechs isn't. Above me, I have got a couple of little solar drones. There is one. I can pretty much just leave this plowing uphill. I've got a pair of little solar drones. They are pretty self-sufficient. They've got one big battery and 8 solar panels to give them enough output to power their thrusters and all their bits. And they've got a couple of event controllers set up in them to monitor their battery output. And when it drops too low, they can fly back into the base and lock on, and when it fills up, they will detach and fly away. And they're both just following that beacon at the moment. And there's a few other bits in there, like some lights and some signs and things to let me know that the drone is connected. Probably because I've not been doing this channel massively long. And I don't know how viral internet fame works, or how it takes root, but no, the channel's slowly growing, and more people like yourself are stumbling across it and sticking around to watch the stupid things. But oh, cheers, man. Yeah, I like just building stupid robots. To be honest, I barely do any of the space stuff in Space Engineers anymore. I've said it before, it's basically mech engineers as far as I care these days. Because there aren't any other games out there that I'm aware of that I can do this level of stupid mechanical stuff. This hill is mighty steep now. But, I probably shouldn't have done that. Come on, get all your feet back on the floor again. Oh, hello, Kiwi. Sort of. I have. Oh, and hello, Human Shores. How you doing, man? They do sort of just about land now while moving. I've refined their controls a little bit. I'm not sure how well it'll work walking up a hill on a 30-degree angle and landing, but looks like there's a bit of a flatter bit here. I might be able to stop here for a bit, but yeah, they are sort of working whilst I'm moving. I've added a couple of sound blocks and some flashing lights to indicate when they're coming into dock and when they are about to launch again. So I've got a little bit of a warning to slow the mech down or stop it or try and level it off somewhere. But yeah, the drones are they're working pretty well now. I also refined the landing gear programming on them, so now they only use one sensor and an event controller to make the legs retract without clanging out. And that seems to work much more effective now. So instead of having 2 sensors fighting each other, I've just got one that triggers an event controller. But if we get to this flat bit here, I can stop for a second, because one of those drones, that drone that's still in the air, is bound to need to come in a second. Because they work pretty well, but they haven't got a great deal of flight time, so they can fly for about 10 minutes or something before they have to come in and recharge again. Have we got anywhere remotely flattish around here? Can we stop? Stop the mech, how are we doing? That's not particularly flat, but shouldn't be too bad. What happens if we shift around a bit? Because I decided to climb a bloody great big hill. That's probably flat enough for now. What's that other drone's battery like? He is on 17%. Right, he will be coming back into land in a second. And that's been about 3 hours, so I'm going to knock off in a little bit. But I'm going to go get some food, and I'm going to come back probably in about half an hour and do another stream and start building something else. Because this guy is more or less finished. Short of going through all of this and tidying all of this nonsense up, because as you can see there's a hell of a lot of blocks in there and some of it's not been named properly yet, and you don't all want to watch me do that for an hour and a half. That's all boring. That's stuff I'll do off stream. But short of that, oh, there he goes. The light is on to indicate he's coming into land. And there you go, he has landed, he has docked, the light has turned off. Where's his sign? There he is. He is now connected. And with build vision, I can see the charge rates on all of the drones. So the one on the very far left is on 65%. That's the drone on the left. The one that's on 16% is the drone on the right. And when they both get to 100, they will launch themselves again. And they pretty much just go round in that cycle perpetually now. Loop round and round and round. What's that? Oh, hello, Brad. You back again? Oh, hello, oh god, I need to put my glasses on. I can't see all these names from that far away. Oh, Old Hyde. How you doing, man? Yeah, don't worry, it's not the last few minutes for today, it's just the last few minutes of this stream. I'm gonna end this one here now, and I'm gonna go and get some food, and I'm gonna come back and do another one. Because as I was saying, this whole setup is basically done now, short of the boring admin stuff of tidying up all the control panels, and writing out some instructions, and figuring out the last few toolbar controls. Well, that's boring to do on stream. So, like I said, I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to go and get some food, and I will come back in about half an hour or so, and I'm going to start building something else, because I want to build another giant mech kind of thing, like this. But the idea I've got in my head right now is about twice the size of this thing. I want to see if I can make something a little bit bigger, so I can fit a little bit more stuff in it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here for now, and thank all you guys for watching, and I will be back in half an hour, 45 minutes at most. What's the last of your messages before I bail? Brad, consider eye stalks extendable out front to view mining ships and the flight deck. I have been considering something like that. Currently got a bunch of cameras on the top at the moment. I was thinking of adding maybe a couple more somewhere. I did consider something telescopic. I might actually maybe swap that for some kind of rotor type thing like that, so I can have maybe like a turret controlled eye or something. But yeah, I might do that next time. I might do that off stream. For now, I'm going to pack this in, and I'm going to say again thank you for everyone that was watching. What's that you're saying, Splatter Effect? Have fun getting food. Oh yeah, I'll be back in a bit. I do build streams all the time. If you don't catch me today, I might be on tomorrow or the day after or some other time. I'm always doing build streams and posting videos and stuff. But yeah, cheers guys. I'll be back in a little bit. And if you subscribe to the page, hopefully YouTube will give you the notification when I'm back on doing more Mad Bollocks. So yeah, cheers guys. I will see you around next time, which will be very soon, and we'll build some more crazy nonsense. So goodbye for now, and see you later.